am Adrian Atkinson and this is Jamaica Magazine. Thanks for joining us for yet another informative and entertaining show. Inside the pages today, we take a timely look back at the event which nearly shattered a neighboring nation and reveal the generosity of ours, plus crime, the #1 topic in today's society. We put Commissioner Owen Ellington in the hot seat. Stay tuned, the show has just begun.
This is Ramin Virgo. I'm here appeal to all of the youths them to just stay away from crime and violence. We know the temptation, the money, the fast life. People say them rate you. But that will only take you nowhere. If you stay in school and focus, then you can achieve anything. Be your own leader. A gang is a dead end.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Crime. Some say it's Jamaica's #1 problem. Gun control and decreasing the murder figures are constant issues being tackled by the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Commissioner Owen Ellington is resolute in revolutionizing the force that serves to protect and reassure citizens. Next, Mr. Ellington shares his plans with host Ian Boy.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of Issues and Answers. I'm Ian Boyne. Today we talk about security. We have with us the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Owen Ellington, and we will talk to you about the strategies for containing crime. We're all concerned about this monster of crime. What is the police force doing? Is the police force equipped to deal with this major challenge? These are some of the issues we explore today on Issues and Answers. We thank you for your company. Commissioner, good to have you on the show. Yeah. Why should Jamaicans hope, Commissioner, that this year we will be able to do better in containing crime than we did last year?
Well, thanks for having me, Ian. It is an opportune time to discuss the crime situation in the country because it's actually the start of a new year, and to locate it within the context of the government's overall policy for improving security and safety in the country. Jamaica's crime problem is a very serious one. Its consequences are strategic in the sense that they impact development, public confidence, public trust, and they are really degrading the quality of life that many Jamaicans would wish to enjoy. And so what we want to do really is to just locate the current situation within the broader social policy goals of the government, which is to improve public security and justice to the point where Jamaica can be regarded as a place of choice to live, work, raise families, and carry on business by 2030. The truth of the matter is that in that regard, Jamaica's crime and security situation has been improving well beyond the projected targets.
Is that so?
Yes, certainly. But in
Seems
terms
counterintuitive, but go on.
It is true because between 2007 and now, the crime situation has improved significantly. The murder rate is about 35% of what, reduced by about 35% of what it was in 2007. Other serious crimes have been declining constantly. In fact, we have just completed 4 consecutive years of declines in major crimes. Last year, for the first time in 4 years, only murders show increases, and it increased over 2012. But it hasn't taken us back to where we were in 2011 or 2010, 2009.
But the murder rate is still unacceptably high.
It is still unacceptably high because of where we are coming from. We're coming from a situation where we had about 63 murders per 100,000 of the population in 2009. In 2012, and around the middle of 2013, we were about 40 murders per 100,000 of the population, which would have been a significant fall, but not low enough to make Jamaica the kind of safe society that we want it to be, which will then trigger a surge in public confidence, citizen confidence, investor confidence. However, the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Ministry of National Security have set ambitious targets well beyond those which were projected in our Vision 2030 social policy goals. And that is why someone like myself is so disappointed when we complete a year and we do not see continuing declines in murders and shootings. However, our strategy is sound. We have a very clear assessment of the nature and the gravity of the problem. We have a very clear assessment of the drivers of violence in the society. We believe it's driven by gangs and organized crime. We have studied this problem on a global level. We see how other societies have dealt with it before, and we know that there are techniques. If we apply them in Jamaica in the full form that they are required to be applied, we will have the same positive effect. What we need in Jamaica is a strategic impact on the crime problem. If you have a contributor, gangs, that gives you 80% of your murders and 80% of your other serious violent crimes, then there has to be a strategic focus on gangs. And the strategic impact you want, it should be broad-based, it should be long-range, and it should result in very sharp fall in criminal activities. Pretty much like what we observed following the operations in Tivoli Gardens in 2010. 2010 was shaping up to be the most murderous year in our country, in our country's history. However, the assault by the security forces on organized crime, focusing on the center of influence for organized crime, which at the time was the Tivoli Gardens gang, triggered a 40% decline in murders and other serious violent crimes because we had shaken the confidence of the criminal underworld. For the very first time in many years, it appears as if the police force, the security forces, had strong executive support. It appeared as if the police forces had very strong support from the population and from civil society. That shook the confidence of criminals. They were on the run. The police confidence was boosted. We continued those operations. Even today, we refer to them as secondary operations. And that is why we've been able to cut the crime as sharp as we did and sustain the declines. However,
I want to take a break at this point, Commissioner, because it is important for us to look at those elements and to see how we can strengthen those elements in order to deal with the crime situation. Commissioner of Police Owen Ellington speaking to us on Issues and Answers. We take a break.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Original.
We're talking safety and security today. The Commissioner of Police, Mr. Owen Ellington, is our guest. Mr. Ellington, you were delineating a number of strategies. So this year we can look toward some new strategies, new techniques, new initiatives in order to deal with crime.
we will see a continuation of some strategies which have been productive up to now. We will see further refinement of some of these strategies, and we will see some new strategies. For example, community-based policing is the preferred strategy of policing for Jamaica, and that is what we are mainstreaming. Community-based policing is practiced all across Jamaica, but it is regularly interrupted by the level of violence generated by gangs. And wherever gangs are active and operating, it impedes the ability of the police to deliver community policing, but it also undermines citizens' ability to interact freely with their police. And so a key element of our crime fighting strategy has got to be to degrade the capacity of criminal gangs, to defeat the gangs if we can, and to dismantle them if we can. And so you can look to see increased numbers of visible deployment of policemen in the communities interacting with the citizens. Over the Christmas holiday, we almost had a peaceful Christmas
Oh,
holiday.
yes, yes.
Not much has been said
Visibility
about it.
was quite
The
clear.
visibility was very high because we were able to shut down a lot of administrative and support activities. We didn't have policemen in court giving evidence, transporting prisoners, guarding prisoners, and doing a whole lot of things. So our deployable numbers was significantly increased. What we're trying to do this year is to sustain some of that level of deployment by innovation. For one, we are trying to promote the prosecution liaison officer program within the criminal justice system so that it is embraced by the courts. And if that works, what we will have is a situation where prosecution liaison officers who are policemen can appear in court on behalf of their colleagues who are either investigating officers or police witnesses and convince the court that these officers are available to attend and give evidence when required, but for the time being, they are on duty. What this would do is to prevent hundreds of policemen from waiting in court for hours for an opportunity to give evidence when they could be out there protecting the public and doing more investigations. Another major strategic move which may occur this year is the merger between the police, the regular Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Island Special Constabulary Force. If that should take place, what it would see is the fusion of 2,000 additional members from the ISCF into the JCF. We could then abandon many duplicated administrative duties, such as the manning of offices, guarding of facilities, personnel management, all of those things. And we would then convert that into deployable resources, which is our intention to put in the streets, in the communities where they belong. We have been discussing with the Ministry of National Security a strategy of purchasing somewhere in the region of 400 small motorcycles, where we can deploy out uniformed mobile patrol teams, which will be in the communities full-time, doing nothing else but interacting with citizens, protecting them, being their friends and their protectors in the community. If that should come on, we have committed to put 1,000 police officers into that program right away. And there is also another strategy which has actually started, but it will gain traction during this year, where we have secured approval from the public sector housing development programs to build a small police station in every housing scheme with over 100 houses. We have also everyone, and there are several of those that are coming on stream right now as we speak, and we have also struck up a partnership with private developers to build a police station in a large housing complex. The Meadows of Irwin in Montego Bay is one such project which is being developed by Wicon, and they have constructed a police station which will be in there. The problem we face with protecting our population is one that requires serious thought and less criticism. Police stations nowadays are located in places based on conditions which existed between 50 and 150 years ago. Population shifts, shifts in commercial activities, shifts in crime patterns have not been appropriately responded to by the location of appropriate police infrastructure. We do not have the mobility to reach populations where they are, and therefore there's always inadequacy in our policing of the communities. What we are doing now is to build out policing infrastructure through partnership, through additional investments by the government, and through improved police mobility. All of those are what are required to ensure that we can do what community policing is all about, which is being there in the community with the citizens to protect them. We have been preoccupied for many years focusing on the gangs, because the gangs are such high producers of violence. You can never take your eyes off them. We have built police capabilities sufficiently now that we can focus on the gangs, but at the same time we can expand our reach into the communities, into the townships, to protect the citizens.
I want us to talk more about the anti-gang strategy and the importance of the legislation which is before Parliament, as well as some other issues having to do with the police and human rights, police corruption. So we want you back next week, Commissioner. Commissioner will be back with us next week to continue to talk about the safety and security of Jamaicans, a really crucial issue. Until next week, Ian Boyne wishing you a pleasant day.
I needed help to expand my business, but the banks only wanted to be up in my business. The high interest rates were killing my business. They're never really business with my business.
At the Exim Bank, we have your business needs covered. Our application process is easy, and we provide loans at competitive rates for the productive sector. From renewable energy projects and working capital to plant upgrades or expansion and export financing. Come in and talk to us today. The Exim Bank. On the road to success, you are going to want us in your business.
Today, January 12, marks the anniversary of the earthquake which devastated Haiti in 2010. Shortly after, Jamaica joined the world in mobilizing support for the Caribbean partner. Next, we rewind to that historic event.
It's a heart-wrenching horror that will forever be etched in the minds of a people and those looking on. Words can barely express the magnitude of the misery which overshadows the densely populated country.
Something that I experienced for the first time, but before that, it is happened but little bit, about 1 second, long time ago, but now it's different, about 25 seconds, that's what I hear, you know. But I see a lot of houses break down, you know, people get killed, a lot of people get killed. It is not the same like the first time, you know.
I was blessed. Nothing happened to my house or the office I was in. However, around me everything fell. It has been absolutely awful. I mean, there's no words to describe what we've been going through.
Nature's fury and buildings that follow no building code. Ingredients for disaster. It's a concern for the future, but in the here and now, Haitians are just thinking of survival.
Okay, what we need is food, you know, food, water, like tent. Everything become expensive, you know, expensive. Like food is expensive. It is not the same. And it is difficult also to find them because a lot of the, you know, sellers get killed, you know, the market and etc. Break down.
I think right now, I don't feel I'm the same way I was before the earthquake. You know, it's very hard to see many people die while the earthquake. I was sitting on a public place and I felt the sensation and I run away. I call everybody, don't go home, stay in the street, stay in the street. That's the only place you can stay while the earthquake, and they accept to stay. And after I see many people, many houses fall down, many people die.
It's very terrible. It's very terrible. Okay, but I think it's very it hurt me in my heart because I see my heart break down, and I got a brother. Okay, he break his leg. It was very terrible to see that when the half-course passed. Oh, I don't know how to explain that.
Alright, and what about your family? They're okay?
Oh, thank goodness they are okay. They are okay. They don't hurt. They don't hurt. Yes, but many others victims.
Alright, and where do you go from here? How are you planning to build back what you've had?
But we don't know yet. We don't know yet. What are we going to do to rebuild the country or the area?
if we're still alive, I think it's a grace. Okay, God give us. For that reason, we want to help the older who need some help. Okay, but we're very happy to help them.
The international community was quick to respond to Haiti's plight. The airport was abuzz with activities as relief supplies came pouring into the island. On the outskirts of Haiti's international airport, a number of countries set up their campsites, bases to spread relief.
So we are here at what appears to be the command center for persons in Jamaica who are coming into Haiti to help with relief efforts. And we're here with Captain Derek DePass of the Jamaica Defense Force. Captain DePass, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
What exactly goes on here?
Well, this is the main center for the Jamaican contingent. Here in the center we have, of course, military personnel. We have 10 firefighters from Jamaica, and we have medical doctors and medical technicians, and they all operate from the center, providing relief for the people of Haiti.
All things being considered, I think we've been making good, steady progress.
The Jamaica Defense Force soldiers have to get up early in the morning to pack containers with the supplies for distribution. The Sri Lanka Special Forces partner with them. On this day, the journey takes them to a community called Tibua. The people walk for as long as it takes from wherever they must to get the critical supplies.
Well, as you can see, we're severely outnumbered, but we have some strong personalities with us who are taking care of the matter and trying to control things as best as possible. However, when you find that people are desperate and we are the first sign of help, they're going to converge on us as much as they can and in great numbers. So we're trying as best as we can to control it by establishing lines and cordons and so on to ensure that we do it in an orderly manner so that everybody at least gets water or biscuit or tin stuff that we have to issue.
You're heroes. You came and did your job, and you didn't just do it right, you did it perfectly. I really thank you for that. I didn't want you to go without me thanking you because the entire world thanks you. You did a superb job. Be proud of that.
Jamaicans living in Haiti also play their role in the recovery process. David Mighty has been working in the country for the past 7 years. He didn't have the heart to leave the Haitians in their time of distress.
What we have been doing is, from the time of the earthquake, we actually used our own funds, went to Santo Domingo, got supplies, and basically make an hygiene package, toothpaste, toothbrush, soap, and toilet paper. And we've been handing out to women and kids only. I mean, we can't provide for the men or everybody yet, but who we can help, we have been helping. And it has been so effective because it's on a smaller scale. We're able to penetrate a lot quicker than the major rescue missions.
I'm here at the Bernard Mervs Hospital in Haiti. It's actually a community hospital, recently resuscitated by the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association and representatives from the Ministry of Health. Over to my right, persons are screened and then they are taken over to this section in my left where their medical condition is assessed. If they need surgery, they'll then be taken into the hospital where the surgery is done.
I will then say to thee, you are my friend.
You need amputation of the right arm, and you can see what happened to the left leg. He's going to need debridement, so he's waiting to go to surgery.
The lady to the right of the translator is the little boy's mother. She is grateful for the assistance of the Jamaican doctors and is praying for God to give her son life.
She says she doesn't have a house, she doesn't have any place to go when she lives here, and she doesn't know when she's out here what she's going to do.
We have a trial station, we're having surgeries being done, and we have a ward area. And we're going to ask the Russians to help us with the post-op care patients. We also have people delivering babies. So we have a labor ward set up as well. Basically, we're doing a lot of amputations, but we have a lot of limbs that can be saved. The orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Warren Blake and Dr. Vaughn, known as Center at Freres, we are actually putting on external fixators and trying to save limbs that can be saved. The ones that are amputated are the ones that are dead and septic and can't be saved. So they're actually here now to save limbs.
When the people finished having the surgery, they were telling us, after God, the Jamaican doctors saved them. And it's because of them that you see so many people coming in, because they send words at home to say they are good doctors, they are efficient doctors, they work as a team. We don't know how to thank them. The only thing we can do for them is pray for them.
So you might be wondering, what's it like in the nights? Well, from very early, about 5:30, persons begin to mark out their spots.
You know my name. If I saw you in heaven, would it be the same? If I saw you in heaven, I must be strong.
Eddie, let me hit right now. Because we got some baby, we got some green person, we got some grandma, right, grandpap, what I mean? So you have to do something on Haiti.
There comes a time.
Security is one aspect of the work by Jamaican and other forces in Haiti, but the truth is that right now, their priority is really to help the Haitian people pick up the pieces of their lives. The Caribbean community, CARICOM, is taking a lead role with Jamaica as a key partner. Former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson was the community's representative at a special preparatory conference in Canada. It's a body for international countries trying to work out a plan for reconstructing the earthquake-torn country. It will take a while. Until then, Haiti continues to live in faith.
Earthquake Awareness Week begins today. The observance is being held under the theme Earthquake Awareness, Know Your Vulnerability to Improve Your Capacity. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management is urging citizens to practice necessary safety measures. Parents and guardians prepare a home earthquake plan and to teach children the method of drop, cover and hold on to reduce their chances of getting injured. Heads of companies, now is a good time to revisit your building plans, ensure there are proper exit areas and that staff members are informed on what to do in the event of an earthquake. You will be more likely to react quickly when shaking begins if you have actually practiced how to protect yourself on a regular basis. For more information on Earthquake Awareness Week and how to conduct a drill, contact ODPEM at 906-9674-5. Before we go, we leave you with these inspirational words. Of all human activities, man's listening to God is the supreme act of his reasoning and will. Words of Pope John Paul VI. Join us tomorrow for another informative and entertaining program. Keep sending those emails. Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or send a tweet at JIS News. Click on jis.gov.jm where you may find more news stories and features on all the issues featured in today's magazine. Remember, our special Government on a Mission series reviewing 2013 continues tomorrow. Until then, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.